The REV Hardware Client is the #1 piece of software for mentors and technical volunteers in the First Tech Challenge. Let's take a look. To use the REV Hardware Client, we need a Windows PC or virtual machine. To get it, head over to the REV Robotics website, look under Tech Resources, and choose REV Software Resources. Here we're going to use the very top link, REV Hardware Client, and choose to download it. Once you have it, go ahead and install. When you open the REV Hardware Client, it shows you a list of all of the connected devices related to First Tech Challenge. In this case, I have an expansion hub, a driver hub, and a control hub all connected at once. There's an alert icon beside 2 of these hubs indicating that there's something about them that is ready to be updated. And this is a process I recommend that you go through fairly regularly, especially in the week leading up to a competition. Give yourself enough time to test everything out and make sure it still works, but be sure that you have all of your software up to date before you arrive at the competition. When you connect an expansion hub, it'll alert you about updates to the expansion hub firmware. In my case, it's already up to date, so there's nothing to do here. With the driver hub, it will alert you about updates to the driver hub operating system and the FTC Driver Station app that is installed on the driver hub. It takes just a single click to update the app. They've done a great job of making this easy. With the Control Hub, you can update all 3, the Control Hub OS, the app installed on the Control Hub, the FTC Robot Controller, and the Control Hub's firmware. Now take a second to note that there is a download button beside the update button. If we go up to the Downloads tab, we can pre-download all of the software that we might need to install at a later date. This is a really great tool for technical volunteers at a competition, especially if you are going to need to work with teams to upgrade software as part of field inspection, for example, but you may not have access to the internet when you need to do that. So if you pre-download all of the versions of the software that you might need, firmware, operating system, driver station, and robot controller apps, you'll have everything you need at your disposal without connecting to the internet. You can even go down and get older versions of the software if you need them. Once you have them, it's very easy to go and install them. Now there is a very important caveat that you need to keep in mind, specifically if you are installing the FTC Robot Controller. Because if a team previously used Android Studio to install their code, then you may be overwriting it with this process. So it's necessary for them to go and download the FTC Robot Controller app again, work with it in Android Studio to copy over their code and install it that way. So just be careful. There is likely going to be a warning on the screen in the REV Hardware Client if this is the case, but don't rely on that and make sure you check with the team first. If they're using OnBot Java or the blocks programming method, then this is not a concern. There's more you can do in this software than just upgrade things. For example, this is the easiest way to connect to the management interface of a REV Control Hub without connecting to it over Wi-Fi. So, for example, if you need to change Wi-Fi related settings, like the password or changing over to 5 GHz, you can do this without having to constantly reconnect to the Wi-Fi. There's also a log viewer allowing you to view and download logs from each of these devices that can help you or REV support diagnose an issue you've been having. So I encourage you to go and download the REV Hardware Client, make using it part of your routine, and I'll see you at the field.